Our guest today is an entrepreneur from the hospitality space. This man is a pro surfer. He is known as the Don of Bali. I introduce to you Tai Buddha Graham. 2005, you have $3,000 in the pocket.
Yeah.
Man, what's the plan, bro?
He was supposed to invest a couple of weeks before I was leaving. He goes, I'm out. Dream's over.
Did you just go, as you're saying, and just learn as you go?
Totally winged it. I saw that as a big challenge, and I said to myself, I'm like, oh, is this what rock bottom feels like? I go for the more truthful, selling my dream. Became way more fearless, making deals with people. I'm like, nah, take it or leave it, or I'm out.
For the future of Project Black Hospitality, what's the next step?
We really want Project Black to kind of stand for like people chasing their dreams. We've never been driven by the money. Don't tell that to my CFO.
In such a pan-global environment like Bali, have you thought to make sure your children carry the two cultures that are unique to their whakapapa, Māori plus Norwegian?
Yes.
Kia ora team, welcome back to another episode of The Martin Show. We are back for another Bali edition episode. Our guest today is an entrepreneur from the hospitality space. This man is a pro surfer, proud Māori and father. He is known as the Don of Bali. I introduce to you Tai Buddha Graham.
Thank you for the introduction. Don't know about the Don of
bro.
Bali, but yeah.
Oh, bro, it's crazy actually. Well, first of all, thank you for welcoming us into your whare.
Pleasure.
It's welcome to the show, but it's thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Bro, I mean that when I say that the Don, for anyone who doesn't know what the Don is referred to, I guess it's an analogy for someone who is very respected. And everyone that I've mentioned that you're coming on the show around the area has a lot of respect for you, bro. And so I guess my first question is where does that come from? What have you done or gained to sort of gain that love?
Just been holding a gun to their heads.
I don't know, but it's everyone I've spoken to.
Oh, that's nice to hear. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe time time seems to be a thing over here. Some people may, still find their feet for the first. Depends on their journey, their chapter in life, where they're at. So some people are coming over here in that sort of lost phase. Then some people go, okay, this is me. I've got to establish some roots in here, and then they go through all that next chapter, which comes from figuring out what you want to, who you are, what you want to be, where you want to live, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I guess I've kind of been through that phase a while ago. Yeah. And then I can, I'm always there to help when it goes in the right direction. I love seeing friends and whānau do well. Yeah. That's the biggest kick for me. Yeah. Wow. So if someone's, I can see it. I can see through people's eyes, man. I can see when they're lost. I can see when they're looking for something. I can see if something's on their mind or whatever. So, I'll reach out, or I hope they feel like they can reach out, especially all the Māori Polynesian crew over here.
It's a testament to you, bro. But we are here in Bali. You were born in Aussie.
Yep, Gold Coast.
Yeah. Sort of spent your first few years in New Zealand. And then went back and forth between Bali and Australia?
I was mainly on the Gold Coast. We went back. My grandfather and my dad's twin brother passed away when I was born. Oh, wow. So we were back there, and then Nana passed away. So we were kind of back there for the Pungies and sort of reunite. I didn't really see much of it, obviously, when I was really young. And then go back for the unveiling and all that kind of stuff. So, but we're super close with that side of my family, like dad's whānau. Yeah. Even still to today. He had 9 brothers and sisters, and every single Sunday until today they all talk. So, we had our big whānau reunion. There was 135 of us. We had 5 buses cruising around, and we did the journey from my koro and Nana through to koros from up Holdinga, Nana's from down near the Hokianga, and then they kind of come across down to Auckland for a better life near where you're from. Yeah. Down in Henderson Way. And Granddad was a part of the Honowaiti Marae. He helped founded that one. Yeah. So I used to just listen, be a little brom and sit in the kitchen while they're on the guitars and just listen to all the stories. And so I always had really strong connections and really strong roots back there. And then growing up on the Goldie, I never felt like I was an Aussie. And even the kids in my school, I was one of 2 brown boys in the school back then. Now all the Māoris are on the Gold Coast.
There now.
But back when I was a grown, I think there was 3 of us. There was me, Mihaka, and Jan Rudolph. So there was three Maori boys in the whole school.
And so where does Bali come into this?
So mum and dad came to Bali in the 70s on a holiday, and they loved it and made some friends here. And then I was born early 80s, and then late 80s, early 90s, mum and dad split up, and mum moved to Bali. So it wasn't until I started coming, and then they only flew on Boeing 747s back in the day, and I used to fly as a unaccompanied minor, and you weren't allowed to sit next to an adult, so they'd always upgrade me to business. Didn't have flatbeds back then, but I was sitting in business class in a 747 coming over at 9. Wow. I'd come over like
9 years old.
9 years old. I'd come over 4 times a year, so I spent every school holidays here.
Yeah.
And stay a little longer. So then I learned the language. I learned all the customs and all the protocols, and I would just sit there silent and just listen and watch and see how it all worked. Yeah. So I could understand the tribal hierarchy or the village hierarchy. Very similar to an iwi and how that works. Yeah, bro. I'm sure you've noticed that since you've been here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got your marae and iwi, and you've got your banja.
Yeah.
You've got your tomato, and you've got your klian. You know what I mean? So there's similarities there. And so I learned how to navigate. Yeah, and then I guess I was teenage kid or young kid, primary school teenagers, and then after high school I was just coming over here surfing and partying, and then I moved over 20 years ago now.
Wow.
Yeah, full time where I had to like make my own money.
Yeah.
So it's been a 35-year journey or something.
Well, but even being here, there's a lot of Māoris. You just walk into Soman.
Yeah, especially in Soman.
Shout out to Mike.
Awesome.
But this may be a more difficult question for you to answer. Bali, Aussie, New Zealand.
Yeah.
Where is home for you?
Home, yeah. So it's a funny question, but I feel like my roots are in New Zealand. Yeah. In my eyes, I'm a visitor. Well, we're visitors everywhere. That's how I look at life anyway. We're just there to look after the land and be a part of it. But this is Bali.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm on their whenua. So I got to adopt rules and mindset. That's how I go about it.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their different approach, but that's how I look at it. That's how I teach my kids.
Yeah.
That's how we live life here. Bring the kids into all the ceremonies that we have, the house or village, or if there's and whatever's going on, hey, we're here, be a part of it.
Have you had struggles being around them, or to going back and forth between Bali, Aussie, and then going back home to New Zealand every now and then? Have you struggled with, I guess, cultural identity and discovery?
You mean myself?
Yeah, for you personally.
I think I did at a younger age. Yeah. Like my little boy, I got to go pick up from school, but his blonde hair, blue eyes, his mum's Norwegian.
Yeah, wow.
What's he gonna say? Where's he from? I know we had him in Norway, but he's a Māori.
Yeah.
So like, and I look at that with everywhere, like all these mixed races, like we're in such a multicultural era.
Yeah, bro.
So everyone's from everywhere, but that's awesome.
Absolutely.
But yeah, where are you from? Like where are you from? Especially us, I hate that word expats, but we're in another foreign country, so I always find it interesting too when you look at certain countries. So let's just say 2 Chinese move to New Zealand. They have a kid. This kid can go, I'm a Kiwi, or I'm an Aussie, or I'm an American. But if 2 white Americans move to China, they can't go, I'm Chinese. Yeah. So there's those bit of complexities around the indigenous side of things too. So, like, I don't know. I think it's going to be, that question's going to come up a lot for kids having this identity crisis or identity, situation of, well, where am I from?
Yeah, bro. Where are my roots?
Yeah,
man.
So we're on to that.
Yeah.
Me, myself and my wife, like, she's like, well, they're Norwegian because I'm Norwegian. And I'm like, well, they're Māori because I'm Māori.
Wow.
And so that's who you guys are.
Yeah.
And so that we just tell them. And so we take them back to Norway every year. Try to take them back up home, or back in New Zealand every year. Take them to Aussie as well, and just connect them to their roots so they know. So they start knowing people, and then we tell them stories. And my nana, their nana lives with us. She stays here, and my dad comes and spends anywhere from 3 months to a year with us. So they're always surrounded by whānau. So I think it's our job to remind them who they are, where they're from.
I just met your mum as well.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful wahine.
Yeah.
How would you describe your sort of earlier years and back in the days, your earlier years, your upbringing and things like that?
Oh, I think it was run of the mill. I played footy when I was young. Mum and dad both working. We didn't have a lot of money. We didn't not have money. We're just in that middle area. They were trying their best, like all the parents, were. And then, tried a bit of this, tried a bit of that, a bit of footy, a bit of all these different sort of sports. So, and then I think the big shake-up was when mum and dad split, and then mum came over here, and then I was with dad, and so then I had to clean the house. I was the housewife at 10 years old. Yeah, mate, you make dinner for us tonight, eh? And I'm like, oh, fucking hell. So here I'm like 11, 12 years old. So I got used to taking care of myself, I guess you could say, in the house. And then dad was doing an awesome job too. Interest rates were 17.5%. Now people crying about 1 or 2% hike of 4 or 5. Back then, I remember seeing it on the news, 17.5%.
Wow.
And they were going to work to lose money.
Yeah.
So it must have been so hard. And then, imagine breaking up 20 years marriage or whatever. So, I was around my father more, so I probably saw life through his eyes more than what my mum was going through over here. She was over here. Then I'd come over here, and here's a white lady in a foreign country where everything seems like roses and butterflies. And I could see through, like, oh, this is my new partner. I'm like, hey, who's this fella? Who are you, mate? What are you up to? Oh, I'm watching you,
Yeah.
So all that sort of stuff. So I probably got exposed to different cultures at a very young age, especially Bali.
Yeah, bro.
Back then when that come through, I played sport. I was playing football 6 days a week, schoolboys, club, rep. Love winning, super competitive. Got into surfing at probably 11, started competing, got sponsored and all that stuff, and like partying. We're a result of all these little things that have happened to us over the years, good or bad, and all the people and all the lessons and all that kind of stuff is made us who we are. So, why did I get into hospitality? I never worked in restaurants. Yeah, but you used to throw mean parties. Yeah. I used to have these awesome parties from, when I was probably 14 through to 21, where I'd put a hangi on. I was the only kid that would throw a hangi on in the whole neighborhood, even maybe on the whole Goldie. Dad used to have a business called Hangi Jacks back in the day. Yeah, classic.
Hangi Jacks.
Yeah, so we used to put a hangi on, and then we'd play music, so we'd have bands and stuff, and that was what we just did all the time. And then we had a music room, so guys would come over and jam and stuff. So naturally, I think that music got ingrained into me.
Yeah.
And one day someone's like, "What's your passions?" I'm like, "Surfing and music." I could do that shit all day, every day, even my eyes closed. So, and then they became the two sort of passions that drove me into, how do I bring these two things to life? Surfing and music. And I never thought in a million years I would have venues by the surf playing music. I didn't think that was going to be the recipe.
Yeah, bro. Well, let's go there. So 2005, you have $3,000 in the pocket in the bank. What's the plan, bro?
Well, rewind a little bit before that. I had this sort of surf mentor guy that we did a few little fundraising things, and I think he could sort of see some potential in my life. I had a little bit bigger picture. I actually read a really good book back then called Thinking Big from Donald Trump, of all people. And I actually really liked Trump because of that book.
Yeah.
Until he got into politics, I went, "Oh man, this guy needs to fucking zip his mouth a little bit more." But anyway, that was my before what's going on now. I mean, what do we really know and see of people these days with social media anyway?
Yeah.
So let's not get into that one, but I really, really admired the dude because I read the book and it was just like, you know, I think it was called Thinking Big or Think Big, blah, blah, blah. And it talked about when you're on, you're on. There was some small excerpts that I just remember clearly out that your window, you know, like when it's your time and you're in the window, go. Because one day you're not the guy anymore and your window's past. So there was certain things in there and just thinking big. So for example, we did a fundraiser for my board riders and we'd always raised $500 or $700 or $1,000 or whatever, washing cars and doing a meat raffle. And I was like, surely we can make more fucking money than that.
Yeah.
Surely we can make, because what I wanted to do is raise some money for the next generation and send them on this surf training camps with high performance coaches and stuff. And we didn't have the money to do it. It was $500 a kid. So we needed to raise 10 grand because we want to send all these kids. And they're like, where are we going to get that money from?
Yeah.
So we'll do it. So I went, well, stuff the meat raffle. Like I know all these pro athletes, world champion surfers and football players and all this. So I just hit them up. Bro, can I get a board? Can I get a jersey and all this kind of stuff? And then this guy was like, yeah, Ty, you're right. We don't need to make money from our community because our community doesn't have that much money. Let's make money off all the businessmen who are in our community because they have a right to help us because they're in our community. They should be giving back to support the local board riders or football club or whatever it is because they're making money inside the community here. You know, that's how we looked at it. So we went and invited all those guys to the fundraiser who didn't have anything to do with surfing.
Yeah.
And we said, hey, we've invited you guys because we want to help our next generation of surfers and we need your help. And this is what we got, all this fancy shit.
Wow.
Who wants to start? $1,000. So I steered that and I think we made, we're tracking through the night and this one dad come up to me and he goes, hey man, I love what you're doing. Whatever you guys make tonight, I'll match dollar for dollar.
Wow.
And I went, what if we make $5,000? He goes, I'll match it. I went, stay here. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the bro here. I put him on. I'll throw you under the bus. You can't say no now.
Yeah.
So anyway, we went there on a Monday and I think it was $6,000 or something like that. So we made $6,000. He goes, yep. There you go. Boom. So we got 11 or 12 grand or whatever it was. And that was the most the club had ever had. And we got on this momentum and this mindset of being champs and stuff. And then we ended up winning the Kira teams. This is North End board riders on the coast. And we were just on.
Yeah.
And then this fella I could see him watching, you know, and I really liked him. He was an entrepreneur, retired, you know, early in life, surfer, family, had kids. He's just a good guy. I was like, I want to be like that guy. There's all these, I know heaps of guys have got money, but how did they make their money? That's important to me, you know?
Yeah, bro.
So I looked at that and then we sat down and that's how Bali came about. Then he goes, come to my house. We've got a map of the world out and we just started ticking all these boxes. And he goes, language, lay of the land, blah, 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 Bali. And I went, Bali, because I was like, Rock Island, Sri Lanka, Costa Rica. And I went, Bali. I went, Bali, man. Bali's like my second home.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, I know. And I went, really? And I just he goes, go for a trip and just see it with a different set of eyes. So I came over here and I went straight away and I went, oh man, went back and broke up with a girl I was seeing at the time. And he was supposed to invest. So he was going to I think he was going to chuck in $50,000 or something. We were going to get like this old surf accommodation and I was going to be the surf accommodation guy. A couple of weeks out, I was throwing all these going away parties.
Yeah.
And I was having so much fun throwing it. I kept having more and more. I think we had like 6. Anyway, a couple of weeks before I was leaving, he goes, I need to have a meeting. I went, he goes, oh man, I'm out. I went, what? Yeah, I'm out. And I was like, oh, dream's over. And I was pissed off. And I went off. So I sold. I didn't have anything. I had a loan on a car. And I sold the car. $3,000. I went, fuck. So I went, I'm going anyway.
Wow.
So I paid for my ticket and I had $3,000. I got over here and I was cruising around. I found a little old bungalow and did it up and went partying that night and found some surfers and filled it up. $1,500 a month, boys. Yep, sweet.
Yeah.
Take it for 2 months. I went, oh shit, hey, I can. So that was it. And that was the first part of it. And then I was got another one, saved up, got another one, and then was taking everyone surfing all the time. So I had the hookups everywhere because I knew all the spots since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then I was taking people partying. I was taking people to the bloody hospital, get stitched up, police shop. They lost their wallet, blah, 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 whatever. and just things just kind of came, and I just kind of had a mindset like, you know what, I'm not going to do anything for money. That was Dave's, core principle. He goes, Tai, whatever you do, don't chase the money. Just follow your passions.
Wow.
Love what you do. Money will come. I promise you. Promise you. And I went, oh, okay, we'll see.
Yeah, bro.
I just stuck to that, man, since day one.
One of the things that stood out for me was because you opened your first sort of bar with a Balinese childhood friend.
Yeah.
And then a few years after that, you opened Single Fin.
Yeah.
In Uluwatu. If you know, you know. Checked it out last week. Insane, brother. And that was in 2010.
11. Yeah, 11, yeah.
And then 2015, you launched The Lawn.
Yeah.
And so that's from 2005 to 2015. That's a 10 plus year time passage. And so what stood out for me is that idea of time, and that good things take time. None of this was all overnight.
Yeah.
My question for you though, bro, around this is, did you start with the end in mind, or did you just go, as you're saying, and just learn as you go?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah?
Yeah, I totally winged it. I had no idea how to do an Excel spreadsheet. Like, I've always been good at numbers. Yeah, like off the top of my head, I can work out, calculate percentages and fucking everything. Like, I've been really good at numbers my whole life.
Yeah.
I love numbers. Not money, numbers. Yeah. So it really helped making deals and all this kind of stuff. And I could, and I guess I probably have got a good sales game on me in terms of like being able to sell an idea to someone, i.e. an investor.
Yeah, bro.
I go for the more truthful selling my dream.
Yeah.
Like, wow, imagine this. How fun would that be? And like, you want to be in my dream? Or you want to be a part of it?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. So, I just wanted to continue to grow. I just wanted to continue to get better. That was always my goal. I never was driven by the cash. It just unfolded opportunities and the right people, the wrong people. I always sort of gravitated towards, I can smell a bullshitter. Or I can, the saying, you can't trick a trickster.
Yeah, bro.
So I was a halfback.
Yes.
I'm making plays on the field. So like, I'm tricking you fellas to go that way, but I'm swinging out this way.
Yeah.
So I can read those plays, and values, and, I know what a good person is, a good human is. I know what good intentions are. Yeah, so all that kind of stuff, judge a character. I still make mistakes.
For sure.
We always do. But yeah, the process was and is still the best part about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm always learning new stuff, and just trying to continue to push myself in new direction or just get better at something. You get to a stage, once I did a few things and I sort of started setting some goals, and then I hit a goal, and it was a financial goal. Oh, I want to be da-da-da. I want to have this much money, boom, by this age, boom. And I got there and I went, shit, what do I do now? That was probably the most challenging part.
Yeah, bro. Because
I was like, oh, man. And I was reading up about like Nike and stuff when they had their vision, mission statement and stuff. And they wanted to be the number one shoe brand in the world. And when they got there, they got lost.
Wow.
Because they were like, where to now? So not saying I'm freaking like Nike, but you get what I mean. And so, then it became kids, family. Then it became more purpose-driven and impact-driven.
Yeah.
And so if it feels good, my role in my company now, we have, 400, 1,500. We have a lot of people in the company now, and we're opening up. I think we'll have 13 or 14 venues soon and all that kind of stuff. But I don't really look at that. It's just like, does this feel good? Is this with the right people in the right place? And is this people going to enjoy this? Because I still, probably my ego, or I still want to walk into a place and see it pumping.
Yeah.
Because I want to see people having a good time.
Yeah.
Because that's what really buzzes me off. I'm like, oh yeah, everyone's having a good time. That's what I get my most joy out of, is looking at a room, looking at everyone either talking to each other or have fun, and it's building those connections.
Yeah.
I love connecting people. I think that's, when I started looking into my purpose in life, it's my bloody role here on this planet?
Yeah, bro.
I really do think I'm a connector.
Yeah.
I do think my job is to bring people together.
Wow.
I look at my grandfather, and I think that was, that's part of what he did. He wanted to create a better life for his whānau, and he took him there. But Ona Waititi Marae is a combination of all these different iwi from all around New Zealand that didn't really have a home, so give them a sense of belonging in the city. And so I was like, oh man, what an awesome fella, like to connect people and bring people together. So I feel like I'm carrying that torch a little bit still. And so I'm like, when I dived in, we did this big wānanga on our whānau and stuff. And I went, the more I dived into it, the more I could sort of see myself.
Yeah, bro.
Go, I do that. I did not to take any credit away from my grandfather, but like, maybe that's why I do what I do.
Similar traits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I do what I do, because I'm a part of him and he's a part of me,
And do you think you've discovered that as you've gotten older?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Too many beers and too much sun when I was too young. You just your goals shift a little, and like I said before, it doesn't even thank you for mentioning we'll have a nice party and all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, it can all go away.
Yeah, bro.
And so like I say that to my kids, see this car, this house, it can all be gone. As long as we got each other, we're all right.
Yeah,
we'll start again.
Yeah.
So me and my wife, Hella, we have that mindset. So it makes you a little bit more fearless.
Yeah.
And makes, you start to grow that honor within, because you're like, take it.
Yeah, bro.
I don't care, because we're going to be all good.
Wow.
Because we'll go again. Yeah. And so it's just stuff, along the path and the journey when you're faced with these certain things. Like we had before we got into the bar in 2011 in Singlefin, I finished that first bar and I was like filling up this backpack with cash, and because there's no cards and stuff, we had this cash. I was like, wow, man, look at all this money. And I was just going and partying and surfing and like just living the dream, it's like whatever, mid-20s or something like that. And then when that stopped, then the money stopped, and then the money really stopped. And then I was like, I've got no money. And then I got to sell, I got to sell my surfboards. Then I started looking around and going, holy shit, I actually got nothing. I couldn't afford renting a motorbike. I'm down on my last surfboard. I had a guitar. I had some board shorts and some t-shirts, and that's it. And I was living in a bungalow. It cost me $150 a month.
Wow.
And I was eating off like $7 a day food. My missus was off $2.50 a day for food. Like that's less than getting the dole.
Yeah, bro.
Way less. Yeah. In a foreign country with no Medicare and all this kind of stuff. No handouts. Sure, I could have picked up the phone and gone, Mum, Dad, or hey, can you guys send me some money? But I was just like, fuck, I'll see if I can pull this off. I've just been winging it so far. See if I can wing this.
Yeah, wow.
So I saw that as a big challenge. And I said to myself, I'm like, is this what rock bottom feels like when I hear all this rock bottom talk? Because I got nothing. Zero. Fuck, I'm sweet. So I was like, I am so sweet. I'm sweet as. Yeah. I can still go surf. Yeah. Still got some mates, still have a feed. Oh, this is easy. Yeah. So it's just, I guess, perception. What is hard? What is difficult? So it matured me in a way of, and then it also made me go, oh, well, fuck. If I'm not scared to lose it all, then, the scariest people are the ones with nothing to lose.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, because bring it on.
Yeah.
So that really helped in business deals. I became way more fearless making deals with people. I'm like, nah, take it or leave it, or I'm out. They're like, all right, deal done. Boom. I'm like, oh shit, that worked.
Well, I think that's what stops a lot of people from making these steps.
Yeah, for sure, man. I had it. I definitely experienced the fear of taking the step. Oh yeah, but you've been going there since you were a kid, and oh yeah, but you know this and you know that. Yeah, but I still had to jump on the plane, and I still had to come and do it, give it a crack. That's why I take my hat off to anyone who's given it a go. Yeah, bro. Because excuse my French, but you're putting your balls on the table, and like you're going for it, and there's, what about the backup plan? Grab that backup plan, rip it, and throw it in the bin.
Wow.
Just go, because you don't want to. I don't like that backup plan. Oh, it's all good. If this doesn't work, I'll go on that, because it means you're not all in.
Yeah.
And I see that with a lot of entrepreneurs today. I just saw my little niece the other day. She's like, thinking about starting, but I'll keep my job. I was like, get rid of the job. Just go. Just like, I'm like, the more you go, I got to make this work, the more it'll work.
Yeah.
The more you're like, it's all good. Next month I'll try a little bit harder because you'll just be 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and you'll be tippy-toeing. You got to go all in. If you really want to go and be amazing, and you want to do awesome things, and like all the champions I see and all the winners or whatever you want to call them, successful people, they're all in.
So for the future of Project Black Hospitality, what's the next steps? What is the next goals?
In terms of expansion and all that kind of stuff, if it feels good, we'll do it. But we really want to, Project Black to kind of stand for like, it's highlighting people chasing their dreams, you know? So we're building gathering places for people to come together and connect. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
No, we're not building 5-star food and all this kind of stuff. We're building gathering places, connection places. So people could come together and connect with themselves, connect with each other, and have a good time. And that's the deeper meaning of it all. So what I would love to see more of us, which it's in the pipeline for 2025 and beyond, is we're starting to highlight and collaborate with a lot of people who are chasing their dreams, whether they're artists, musicians, athletes, chefs, DJs, whatever. They're chasing their dreams. So, hey, we got a platform. Showcase your platform and just also show our audience, you know, hey, this is what we really stand for. See this fella chasing his dream? Like, that was us.
Yeah, but
that was me and Adam. We had no idea what the fucking hell we were doing.
Wow.
You know, so that's the deeper message. It's not about how many burger joints we can open and all that kind of stuff. Like, we're just going with the flow with that stuff. If it feels good, right location, right partner, we're going to do it. You want to do it? Yeah, let's do it. Boom. That's kind of how they're going.
Yeah.
You know, don't tell that to my CFO. He's like, we've got to put on. Shut up, mate. You know, again, we've never been driven by the money. Yeah. So I want that feeling to come across if you work for us or you come and hang with us or dine with us or engage with us, whatever. I want that feeling to come across. So that's a big job. Yeah. Because, you know, sometimes, you can tell these guys only care about money. I got the steak wasn't very I'm like, what happened here? Like, do the best, you know. So if any, you know, and you can't please all the people all the time. For sure. So whatever, people are going to say stuff, but if only they knew. Yeah. If only, hey, come, I invite anyone. Hey, anyone who's out there chirping, like, come on, come and see what we do and what we stand for. Yeah. I promise you'll change your mind. Not that that's my goal is to change everyone's perception on us, but just to that's what we're in it for. Yeah, it's a bit deeper than just opening restaurants, and you know, I can see all the banter and stuff with everywhere in the world. It's just for the money, but it's not just for the money. You know, like, obviously that helps life run along easier. Yeah, but it's not the driver at all.
I'm getting driver. I'm getting inspiration. Where do you go to now, bro, for inspiration?
Oh, that's a good question, man. It's hard because sometimes here, when you like, there's a few guys here like Ronald Achille. Do you know him?
Not personally.
Oh, he's a CEO of Potato Head.
Yeah, I did that somewhere in the
study. He's a great man.
Yeah, bro.
He's a great man, family man. Cares about the environment, cares about how he makes his money. And just a visionary, bro. Yeah. There's certain people, you know, even one of my partners, there's certain things in certain people that I really get inspired by.
People is what inspire you now?
Yeah, for sure. Different aspects. Yeah, I guess the older you get, you start, you know, start really honing in on what you like. Because time is the most important thing. Yeah. You know, so that's why I was saying to you, I got to go pick up my kid because I really, like, I try to pick up my kids every day from school and take them to school just because I just think every good person I talk to, that's what I see them doing as well. And every parent I hear is like, man, enjoy it while you can because before you know it, it's all over. So I don't want to be too busy doing what? Being in an office talking about what? Numbers? And not seeing my kid? Nah, that's not me. Yeah, wow. So try to spend as much time doing the fun stuff, you know, hanging with the family, going surfing, you know, enjoying life, and then when I'm in business, I feel like I'm sharper because I'm doing the things I like to do. And you know, I went away on a boat trip in the Mentawais last week, and 12 days, and every day I tuned in for an hour. Normally I'm around and people go, "Oh, can I get a meeting?" And you squeeze all that into 1 hour a day, and you just like, bum, bum. All right, bro, let's go, wrap it up, bum, bum, bum. And you're just like, fuck, I'm just going to go on a surf trip every year. Every day, I mean. So, that's all. It's all good, eh? It's just, I just, you know, want to spend as much time as possible with the people I like spending it with. So back to your inspiration, one is, I guess, you know, seeing bits and pieces out of different people, you know, which is funny because I had this conversation with one of my business partners, unbelievably successful person. They built up a company. I think their valuation might even be a couple $2 billion right now, and they're on fire. They're on fire, but he's hopeless in relationships. But he's trying to give me relationship advice, and I'm like, bro, you're the last person that I'm going to take a relationship advice. But in his eyes, he was like, I'm successful. So you got to listen to me. And I'm like, I went, hey, bro, if it's anything to do with money or business, you are the man.
Sure.
But relationships, you should be listening to me. I'm the one with 2 kids. I've been with my missus for 16 years.
Wow.
You need to listen to me. No, I'm not. And I'm like, oh, all right. So point being, you know, what do I like about certain people? And there's certain things that I'll be able to find. Because before I used to go, oh, this person needs to have all the boxes ticked before I'll gravitate towards them more. So, we are in it's definitely growing here in terms of culture. But I always thought, I guess, how do I say that? I reframe that one, sorry. I always thought over here you needed to have big corporate minds. You know, that's the path I was on maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I need all the billionaires, guys doing this. Then you start hanging around a couple of those guys and you're like, oh man, these guys are so empty and this and this, or they're missing this and, you know, we've got stuff that they don't have actually.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so that's when I went, oh, actually, it's got nothing to do with the size of the boat. Size of the waka, you know.
Yeah.
Huge, big, empty waka.
Yeah.
No one to put on there. And so I was like, okay, because everybody's got their, you know, everybody's got something good about them, I feel. So what can you find inspiration? Yeah, this guy is a bad motherfucker and non-stop trying to rip it. So I'm inspired by his perseverance. Whatever it is.
Tenacity.
You know, so I think you can find something in everybody. There's a guy called Magnum who I've known since I was a kid here. He used to sell ice creams, Magnum ice creams, up and down the beach. Magnum ice cream. If you've been to Bali, I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. Got famous. Then he started doing transport driving and saved up, got a couple of cars. Then he got a couple of spas. He just did all the things that he was seeing people wanting to do. Wow. So he got a couple of cars, then got a couple of spas, and he's put his kids through university and all. And he started selling ice creams. You know, so you know, like who's more inspiring, him or the multi-million private equity guy with the boat with no one to put on there, or the ice cream man. Yeah. So I guess my point is there's so many people doing different things that I find inspiring. I was on a boat trip in the Ments and there was this guy up there that I met. His name is Wade. And he is cruising around on this little wooden boat being 6 or 7 meters by about whatever that is, 1.5 meters. Like your classic wooden Indo fishing boat, just a little 40 on the back, a couple of surfboards, little gas cooker, little swag on the inside. Just 3 months at sea, just chasing waves, fishing, catching his fish, boom, bit of rice, shredded as, happy as, surfing as. I'm like, that's fucking cool. Yeah. So, am I going to go to him for financial advice? No. Yeah. But he's living the dream. Yeah, bro.
He looks content with what he's got.
He's super healthy. He's getting very barreled. So, everybody's got a good part that you can take, you know, you can get inspired by. So, I would say I get sources of inspiration from all different people and different bits and pieces of it, you know. One person that I like their business, I might go, your relationships ain't very good. Why can't you bring that across? Or vice versa. So, because it's hard to find the perfect person out there.
Well, speaking of people, majority of the people listening to this will be men, particularly younger men.
Yep.
What do you think, bro, that we lack in as a collective? What do you think that we need to work on as men?
Oof. Oh, I think the ability to dream big, I don't know if it's a good thing to say, but like, look at Donald Trump. Like, that guy was a businessman and became the president of the most powerful country in the whole world. And everyone's like, do you know, have you listened? You obviously listen to Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Have you listened to Trump's podcast?
Not recently. Not
you should. I just listened to the other one. It goes for a couple of hours, two and a half, 3 hours.
It's blowing up.
Oh man, I think it's like 45 million views.
Up.
He's the first president in history that hasn't come from politics or being a military general. He's the very first ever. So if he can do it, you know what I mean? And everyone's, oh yeah, he's a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, whatever, billionaire. But still, like he became, you know, people go, oh, he's stupid and all this kind of stuff. You don't become president of the United States to become stupid. Like you got some brain power about you. But I think, I don't know, that's going to go down with people. Fuck, the bro loves Trump, bro. Whatever. I like bits and pieces of it. Yeah, not everything. But I would say the ability to dream big and go big, because that's what I see. I'm like, oh man, you can do that. Oh, I don't know. And I guess it's the circles you hang with. It's the you know, if you're surrounding yourself with a bunch of uppers going, bro, fuck, that was mean, good on you, but all like, oh, is that you? Yeah. Oh, you're one of those guys. You know, like depends on your environment. You know, like I got heaps of friends in different circles. I got my footy mates, I got my surfer mates, I got my business mates, I got my artist mates, my muso mates, my family people mates. Like, so I think you need to know where to look when you want that encouragement or stuff, because what I see a lot lacking in a lot of men is that self-confidence to dream big and go for it. And then, oh yeah, I don't want to be that guy. Fucking, you know, what guy? Yeah. Because your real mates will be pumped to see you do good. Just like all my mates I got right now, they're my real mates. Because they're like, bro, they're the ones that go, oh, good on you, man. So stoked for you. Yeah. How cool is that? Yeah. The ones that go, oh, fuck, you're going to do another one of those. Okay, see you later. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Yeah, what are you here for? Yeah, so the right circles, the ability to dream big, and, man, look what, I'm just an ordinary dude. Yeah. I didn't have any superpowers. Yeah, but I remember that fella asked me that question of like, what's the dream? And once he got me to articulate it, I can look at myself in the eye, in the mirror and go, fuck, I'm living my dream. Yeah. Surfing perfect waves. I've got a beautiful family, warm weather, having fun. Don't answer anyone. Like, depends what your version of success is, but like, I don't think it should be monetary or a value. I think it just should be like, what, you know, what's your doing and what's your give back and all that kind of stuff. And we could go deep into the purpose of it all, but like, that's I think that's missing a little bit. There's a little bit of direction. Yeah, bro. Yeah. And I've seen you mention that before, and particularly with New Zealanders. I think the confidence lacks a lot. You know, when I go back home, you know, I did this thing up north. There was these young kids who were getting into a bit of trouble, and a few of the fellas from the marae were like, oh, Ty, can you jump on and talk to them? And head on and just shy. And who are you fellas hanging out with? Oh, you're just the fellas in the gang. Oh, what's that going to do for you? You're going to make him rich. Yeah. What about you? What's your dream? You want to be his boy, or you want to be your own? You want to be the man? Because right now you're his boy. Don't be the boy, be the man. So, you know, we all can be from a young age. You know, just get that money inside of you. So, I don't know. It's a hard one. That's why as soon as I saw your message and I quickly went, I had a quick look through what's this fella up to? Because I want to see if you're doing it too. Yeah, bro. No. You know, exactly. Like, what's this guy, you know? Like, and what you said before of selling the dream, I was like, oh man, this is Tai Buddha Graham. I'm going to try selling my dream. You know? Like, I think it's important if you've got it, you're building a platform for yourself right now to help, you know, inspire and motivate all the young men or just whoever's listening to get out there and give it a crack. Because I can relate to that. I'm not saying I'm a dinosaur, but I was that young fella who was lost and like, oh, this is not for me. I shouldn't be doing this job, but like I'm too scared to give. You know, oh, you're going to do that? Oh, you're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you going to do that? Oh, and like that's the hardest part is that first step.
It is.
The hardest part is to just go and give it a crack. Oh, you're too old for that. Oh, come on, mate. Put that dream to bed. Nah, just keep going. So, you know, you want to light the fires in all these people out there. And wouldn't the world be a greater place if everybody was chasing their dreams?
Yeah.
Like, come on. Rather than everyone going, you know what I mean? So there would be no bitterness because everybody's trying. Everybody's not jealous because everyone's trying, you know, because I know what it takes.
Yeah.
Know what it takes to get there because I'm doing it. Versus like, it's one of, you know, like all those naysayer people.
Everywhere.
Just stick your finger up to those fellas. Just go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's you know, takes confident people, know who they are, know what they're here for, where they're from. You know, I think that's been a big part of my journey. I know where I'm from. When I know where I'm from and where I can say I'm from, and you know, even your hippie ha and all this kind of stuff, and it just helps put some roots in the ground. You know, because the taller the tree, stronger the wind.
Wow.
You know, so you've got those strong roots in there. You're sweet because once the tree gets taller, it's all coming. So I think a lot of kids see that and get scared to even start growing.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's so many great people out there doing awesome things, from fighters to the football players, and just go nestle up next to a role model, man. What are they? Wakes up at 4:30 every morning. So that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Do what he's doing because he's doing it.
Wow.
He ain't doing it by fucking going partying, fucking getting on the drugs and waking up at 11 o'clock in the morning. That's not how you get to where you got to. Depends if you want to be a professional partier. Yeah. I don't know what the dream is, but yeah, I think you monkey see, monkey do. You know, like what is that person doing? So maybe what I saw was guys I looked up to, and I started going like that. You know.
Yeah.
My guys were all surfers, family men, entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Different fields of business, different locations around the world.
For sure.
But they all had those similar
traits.
Yeah, similar traits. Yeah, they're the ones I really, really admired.
Yeah.
Really gravitated towards.
Dream big. I love that.
Yeah.
So that's for us in general, as young Tanya. For you personally, bro, what do you think you need to work on?
Oh man, heaps.
Yeah.
My front hand re-entry, I want to still get better at that. No. Oh man, I'm in the chapter of the dad life at the moment, eh? So that's a journey in itself. Every month is something new. How to be a good husband, how to be a good dad. I think that's the most important things, first and foremost. What's my role? You know, we're the bigger the projects Black's getting, the more is in me to like, all right, I want to start not a charity, but I want to start some sort of organization that's doing, you know, whether it's young youths, something in around beach lifestyle culture. I haven't figured it out yet, but I think that'll be a bit of a next chapter, is to spend more time into that. I really enjoy, like I have a few young entrepreneur crew that I sit down and bounce out with, and whiteboards and all that kind of stuff. I love that stuff.
Yeah, wicked.
Yeah, I love just sharing my knowledge, you know. I'm like, hey, this has worked for me, so I'll share it with you.
Yeah, brother.
Might work, might not.
Yeah.
But this is the process, and this is how you think through it also. Yeah, I just enjoy sharing that stuff, you know. That's like, you guys want to know all of our recipes? Go for it. Ask us. Nothing's secret. If you can do it better, teach us how to do it better.
Yeah.
You know, put it all out there. No, keep growing, eh? Just keep growing as a man and keep showing up, and try to make the environment I live in and around a better place. Yeah, however I can, whether that's the nature environment or the people or whatever. So, yeah, that's what I'm working on.
My final question, brother. Younger Tai?
Yeah.
Can be there any age you want. The Tai that's about to embark on a surfing journey, any age. What's the one piece of advice you'd want to say to him?
Oh, jeez. Is that like a regret question? The one regret you have that you wish you could go back and change?
No, I think it's more of like
the younger me?
Yeah, the younger you. It's you and him.
The younger me would probably find that mentor a little bit earlier. But I don't know. I never really look back,
Yeah.
because I am where I am and I'm stoked where I am, and I don't know if I was ready at a younger age to be where I was. I don't know if I go back to a younger age, maybe one piece of advice I could say to myself is focus a little more.
Yeah.
Because I had one fight. I know you've had heaps of fights. Oh, I checked you out. But I had one.
Yeah.
Mike was my coach, bro.
Oh.
Yeah.
I heard about this. Yeah.
That was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved every minute of it. But what it taught me was focus. Was probably the biggest thing I took away from it. Sorry. Because you got so much going on in life.
Yeah.
Well, we all think we do. But if you just focus. So I had to lose 10 kilos in 6 weeks, plus build on cardio. Let's try and win a fight. And so I put everything to the side, work, surf, everything.
Yeah.
And just focused on my diet, trained 2 to 3 times a day, even got extra training, like my breath coach that does not breath work, the surfing breath work.
Yeah.
I did that. I was doing freaking everything you could think of.
Yeah.
Wow. Anything and everything extra that I thought, oh, this will help, and just put focus to it. And I went, oof. And then when the fight day came through, I won the fight. And I look back and I was like, actually, I'm really happy with the way I fought, because I was with this coach, and this coach was, and I had to pull them all up. I pulled up all the coaches after, I think it was 6-week camp after week 3.
Yeah.
I went, hey boys, I'm going to tell you something. And here's me, the fucking zero fighter guy, telling all the coaches. And I'm like, hey, look, I respect you guys, but I got a game plan. They're like, you got a game plan? You never had a fight before, man. I went, you want to hear it or what? They're like, yeah. I went, jab straight, jab straight. That's it.
Wow.
And they all went,
yeah.
Because I'm sitting in there going, bum, 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 cut hook, that's bum, 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 bum. And I'm like, I'm not going to fucking remember that.
No, man.
I can barely remember it in sparring.
Yeah.
So I went, let's simplify it. And that's been my rule with everything, is simplify. So I just simplified the focus and focused it all. And at the end of the fight, I was like, oh man, I'm stoked with the whole process and that journey. So if I look back at my younger self on what could have happened, or not, I think focus.
Yeah.
If I had this same understanding of focus, but that's okay. That's me moving forward.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm teaching my kids. So I look at everything now as still pretty achievable. Like, can I be a billionaire? Fuck yeah, I could. By focus.
Yeah.
But what does that mean? What's got to fall off?
Sacrifice.
Yeah. Family, surfing, how bad do I want it? Yeah. So when you're younger and you don't have those attachments, or families and all this kind of stuff, you're young. You're a responsibility. You're 14 years old or 17 or 18 or whatever. Just you, or whatever's going on in your life. There's less responsibility. So that focus is there. Right. Back to your earlier question, what are the young men missing? Probably a little bit of focus.
Wow.
Yeah. So choose something, focus. Look out. Yeah, sky's the limit. Yeah. Because I want to fight. Ready to take on Jake Paul. No, that's good. What do you reckon about him?
Jake Paul?
He's done a great job for himself.
I think he's done well. A lot of people give him a lot of, this and that, but bro, you got to give him a bit of credit.
Got to give it to him, man. I think he's done a great job for himself, but yeah, because he's believed, he's a hardcore believer in himself.
Well, he's about to get in there with Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I know.
What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Tai, we have a closing tradition on this podcast where the previous guest leaves the next guest a question. Usually they don't know who the guest is, but on this occasion, the individual knew who you were, so he may have been a bit harsh with your question. But your question today: in such a pan-global environment like Bali, have you thought to make sure your children carry the two cultures that are unique to their whakapapa, Māori plus Norwegian?
Yes.
How have you thought? How have you thought? Character for you, Mike. Sorry, brother.
How have we thought? Connection. Back to purpose. Back to me. What's my role and stuff is the connector. So it's making sure we stay connected. So I think stories, books, being there. You got to go there. I ask a lot of questions when I speak to my cousins. Hey, so you know how Granddad did this, and then what? So does that mean what? Oh, you want all the questions, eh, boy? Nah, not going to give it to you. You got to come back home. Come home. Answers will unfold in front of you.
Yeah.
So there's part of that too where they just got to be there. So just taking them back home, taking them back to their home, back to their whenua, back to Norway. We're going to Norway for Christmas. Speak Norwegian. Eat Norwegian food.
Yeah.
Listen to the sound of Norway. Feel Norway. Jump in the freezing cold ice in the fjord.
Yeah, brother.
That's unique. All these unique things to certain areas is what makes that place what it is, right?
Yeah.
And the people. So staying connected is that, and we call them. That's what I call them every morning. Oh, where's my little Maori Vikings?
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys know, you guys are the two gnarliest races in the world. You guys, you sure you don't want to be in the UFC?
Wow. Yeah, bro.
Maori Vikings, man. Far out. That's far. Imagine if those two came across each other back in the day. Fuck, I know.
Wow.
So we remind them that. I think the language, I really want to, because I can't speak Rio this much, You know what was really funny? I was back home last year. We were supposed to go last week for the Māori Nats up Ahipara.
Yeah.
But something popped up and we couldn't make it back there. But I was back there and I'm on a work call back to Bali. And I'm sitting in there. I can speak fluent Indonesian. And my cousin gets off my head and goes, oh, so you can speak their language but not our language. I was like, oh, that hit me actually. I'm like, shit, that's true. Like, I need to put some more effort into it, more focus. So started looking into it all. And so I'm a bit of an all or nothing kind of guy.
Yeah.
That's sort of my style. So I was like, I could do it online, but everything I'm reading and speaking to, they're like, you don't do it online. You got to go,
full immersion.
You've got to do full immersion. You've got to go back there and spend some time on the marae because all these little things make up Rio,
Absolutely.
That's all part of our tikanga. That's all part of everything.
The world,
that's exactly. So it's not just in the words; it's in how the words were said and body posture, blah blah blah. You already know all this stuff. So that's inside me going, oh, how can I sit here and point the finger at my kid when I'm not doing it myself? So part of me wants to do that. Like, hey, babe. Sweet if we go back and live in New Zealand for a year.
Yeah.
What are we going to do there? I'm like, I really want to do. It's like, well, if we can make it work, we'll make it work.
Yeah,
because maybe I could do some remote. So he's open to it. That's why we're together. That's why we're partners. Because everything's possible.
Yeah.
So how cool would that be to take my kids back there just to get them immersed into it? Get a little clip around the ears, go clean up this and all that kind of stuff. Because they live in a bubble here.
Yeah, bro.
We have this life, go somewhere else, they have their life. So I want them to remember who they are, where they come from. That's our job, So that's, thanks. Good question, Mike. But yeah, that's what do I have to improve on? Yeah, there's one of the things on the list.
Yeah.
So it's all part of the journey.
Tai Buddha Graham.
Yeah, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, where can the people find you?
Instagram. About it, really. I'm not really out and about too much these days anymore, mainly just at home.
Yeah, good man.
I like cruising around to the venues and stuff like that. So if you're in Bali, Project Black, but I'm mainly there for events and stuff like that.
Any final words, brother? Any final words?
Thank you for having me, and stoked to be on your show and keep up the the journey you're on.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah,
I appreciate
and whatever unfolds if you end up over here and all that sort of stuff. But
could be back soon.
what's the dream?
Exactly. Well, that
Sweet.
concludes another episode of The Martin Show. If you've made it this far, please hit the subscribe button and give the socials a follow as well. We'll be back next week for another episode. Kia ora, team. Thank you.